Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Juan, and I'm here today to share with you a little bit of my experience working for Smart Circle, or as many of you might know it, the Slave Circle, one of the companies part of the Devil Corp. There's a documentary out there already. I'm gonna leave all the information below, the link with the documentary and a website where you can dive deeper into this topic. These companies definitely take advantage of younger people with scamming practices and just fake promises. I'll tell you a little bit about my experience and why I think it is a scam, it is a cult, it is a multi-level marketing, and everything is a lie. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to share my experience with the people that I care about that are still working with one of these companies. Hopefully you guys can open your eyes and realize about all the lies and the deception, right, that it's going on. And maybe people that are looking for a job right now, that are doing the research, that maybe have been approached from one of these companies. I want you guys to know the truth and hopefully stay away. Smart Circle, it's a company that has contracts with BJ's, Costco, Sam's Clubs, Walmart's, Targets, and big chain retailers. And what they do is they staff the stores with sales associates. So yeah, I'm talking about all of the sales people that you guys see at these stores. I started working for one of the companies under Smart Circle about 10 months ago, back in Miami. The way this happened at the beginning, I didn't even apply for the job, and I was thinking, damn, right now I just need anything. They called me, set up an interview, the guy looked really sharp, and I liked that. And when I came in, I didn't even know what I was doing the first day. After the first day, they did the office atmos, and I realized at the end of the day that I was in for a direct sales job. And I was like, hey, what the heck? I'm good talking, I like people, let me give this a shot. There was a lot of clients. I was selling AT&T at BJ's. Since the money was good, I stayed there for a couple months. I did a road trip to a convention in Orlando, and I remember that that's when I started thinking about this job as something more serious. Be like, hey, there's people making good money. Let me see if I can get farther doing this. We got back to Miami, and the questions started popping. Hey, so if this guy goes to this city, would you go with him? And I remember in one of the team nights, the owner of that office in Miami actually asking this whole bunch of personal questions. They're gauging you. They're seeing, okay, this guy, I can actually send him to another city. He's gonna leave everything here, right? They wanna see up to what point they can push you. Couple months later, at about 6 months in the company, we did some road trips. We scouted for a new market, and we ended up moving to Massachusetts. I spent 4 months here, and at the third month, when I quit because I realized that what I was telling the people that I was hiring was not aligning with the reality of the job. Why would I train people if I'm spending time where I could be selling to train somebody that's gonna make money for the office, not for me? So you see that there are many things and many red flags in this job that I was not aware of until I was ultimately able to leave Miami and see things in a different market. This is a pyramid scheme. At the beginning, I was like, dude, it's not a pyramid. Every business is a pyramid. If you think about it, the CEO or the owner of the company, it's at the top, and it doesn't matter how much work you do, you're always going to be at the bottom. That was my train of thought. But now that I've opened my eyes, I realize that you're hiring people, you're recruiting, you're training people, and you're selling them the idea that they can become a millionaire or financially independent, however you want to call it, and that is not the reality. This job is a sales job. That's not making more than it is. And at the end of the day, when you advance on the levels, there's not any type of monetary compensation. You advance levels, you get more responsibility, you start training people, building a team, and you generate revenue for Smart Circle and for AT&T. But what about you? What about the salary bump that you should have gotten when you went to the next position above? That doesn't happen. So that's why I believe this is definitely a pyramid scheme. I did feel brainwashed. This has been actually a difficult process for me because it's been very psychological. I drank the Kool-Aid, so I traveled with somebody to a different city, and now I'm realizing about all of this. So it's just like dawning on me, like, wow, how was I so naive? They want to keep you engaged as much as possible in work. So that's why you have the national calls that usually are after hours, after you leave the store, or they're earlier in the morning. Then you have national conventions where you just have people trying to sell you this dream, be your own boss, become an entrepreneur, and all of this nonsense. Hey, if somebody's trying to tell you that you're a loser because you have a 9 to 5 job and a secure check every week, trust me, that person has ulterior motives. There's no way why you should be putting down a job. They're just fueling you with the dream. They're selling you the dream that you can become an owner in one of these offices, and that is the biggest lie that there is. This, it's non-attainable for 99.9% of the people working in this business. The product that makes Smart Circle money is you believing that you can become a market manager, aka ICD. If you believe that you can do that, you're gonna put up with the company, you're gonna travel, put the extra work, and you're not gonna be looking at your paycheck. You're gonna be thinking about, hey, I have an opportunity. I traveled out of state, I left my family, I left my friends behind, and I took the decision on my own from the moment when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave this city because I wanted to leave Miami, and I'm gonna relocate, and I'm not gonna relocate for a job. I'm gonna relocate because I want to. That gave me an advantage in the sense that I'm not dependent on this business. And besides that, I do have another stream of income, which is very important because that allowed me to actually step back and say, screw this. I know that there are people that are inside and that are still working with these companies that probably don't have the financial backup to just leave the job right now and go find something else. And the worst part is that these companies, they prey on that. That's the position that they want to put you in. So you depend on them, so you have to go to the store one more week. So while I was inside, I didn't realize that I was being manipulated this way. For example, in the Byte model, I'm gonna go through a list. They use, for example, propaganda, right? Like the Zoom calls. You're always on a Zoom call after you get out of work, and on your days off, and in the mornings before you go into a store. You have national conventions, right? That all they do is they're giving you more and more information about how to make it in the company. They want your life to be about working for this company. That's it. That's their main goal. They use internal language like the field, ICD, owner, the business, LOAs, Fuji. All of this is simply internal language. Like you talk to this about somebody else, like, what the heck are you talking about? You have rejection of negative thoughts, get excited, and juice, juice, juice. It's not the system's fault. If you're doing great, you're following the system. If you're doing bad, you're not following the system. Something's wrong with you. Then we have restrictions on time and clothing, sleep deprivation, chance. Hey guys. Then we have forced cohabitation. Oh, by the way, I still live right now with the owner that I moved with to this city. Then we have financial dependency, which thanks God I didn't fall into, because if not, I wouldn't have been able to quit this job. And then the last thing is the isolation from friends and family. How do they do this? With the road trips and by just keeping you busy all the time. Most people break up with their spouse, with their significant other, once they get deep in the business. That's why I believe this is very culty. Not a cult, but definitely cult like. The Slave Circle documentary and the Devil Corp website, I discovered them about 2 months into the business, and I was so naive because I thought these are all just people that have failed, that didn't understand the business, a bunch of dumbasses, they just didn't get it. I'm gonna go and conquer the world, right? That's what I thought. Then, when I moved out of Miami, one of the bigger cities, I came to a city where the business, there was not a way to replicate what's going on there. So I realized this: the bigger cities are like the hubs for recruiting. They can recruit these young people, sell them the dream, and they send them out to shitty territories, shitty markets where you cannot create the same amount of revenue, and ultimately these people fail. But the way the say the machine works, you gotta rinse and repeat. You just sell the dream to somebody else and send them to that same city, even if somebody else failed there. Because guess what? While they're trying to figure things out, they're making sales, and the promoting owner is getting also a residual from the revenue generated by that office. And besides that, when you set up a new office, you have what's called the hub. These are services like payroll services, taxes, recruiting, right? Social media management. The biggest irony is that all the services that the hub is offering each one of these owners, managers of their own offices, they pay for those services. So when you get promoted to ownership, you get the benefit of becoming an exclusive client of the hub. Guess who owns the hub? Yeah, Smart Circle. When I saw the videos, I thought building your business takes a lot of time and effort. These people that are doing interviews about how they failed simply didn't have what it takes to become your own boss. Well, guess what? You're never the owner of your own business. You are a manager of a franchise of a subcontractor of AT&T or whatever product that you're working with. You take all the responsibility from the parent company, which is Smart Circle, and you take on the recruiting. You lease an office and they open up a company for you because they want to get rid of all the responsibility and the liability. So if any type of labor laws are broken, guess what? It wasn't Smart Circle, it was whatever Inc. That's the reality of this. They simply do it the way they do it because it's the legal way to keep screwing people. I also used to think you have to be great at sales. All of these people that have failed probably were not very good at sales. I was in the top 5 at the office in sales in Miami. The person that I traveled with also top 5 in sales. And one of the reasons why I traveled is like, hey, we're both really good salesmen. There's nothing that's gonna stop us. Hey, at the end of the day, it's not up to you, it's the market. So if there's not a lot of money to be made here, guess what? You could be the top in Miami. That doesn't mean that you're gonna make the same amount of money if you travel to another city. And the biggest brainwash of all, you have to make sacrifices in order to enjoy the bigger things in life. I thought these people that failed, they didn't sacrifice enough. They didn't give up enough. They needed to give more time, put more hours, and be more focused in order to make it. Well, to my surprise, hey, it's not worth it. There's way better things out there for you guys and for myself. There are so many opportunities out there with benefits, with paid time off, with 401k matching, with many benefits. Jobs where you could literally go make more money than what you're doing with one of these companies right now, and you can have a better quality of life. You can see your loved ones, you can go out on weekends, you can take a vacation. They don't want you to experience this. They want you to fall on the rat race and for you to get on it. You want to become a millionaire, you gotta jump on the tracks and start running. I thought at the beginning and while I was doing this that I was gonna be able to offer people a way to make money and a way to develop themselves. That's the lie that I believe from this. Come here, you learn good skills, you make good money, and ultimately you can become an owner. Well, when things started right opening up and I started realizing, I was like, I'm not gonna continue lying because I felt that now I'm the guy telling the lie. I was so brainwashed that I didn't realize until I was on the other side. What am I saying? It's not the truth. That's why I left the business. It was not an easy experience, definitely very intense emotionally, psychologically, financially, in all aspects. So, for you guys, the ones that are still working with any of these companies that belong to the Devil Corp, I wish you much success and I hope that you can get out quick. For the people that decided to leave or that are leaving the company, I hope that you can move forward and leave this as far as you can in the past. And for the people that are maybe thinking about going into one of these jobs, well, you can make your own conclusions out of everything. This is just my experience, but I would definitely recommend you to stay away. Peace out.